make me feel alive. She make me feel alright. She makes me, she make me feel alive. Make me feel alive. Till you come back home. Until you come back home. Until you come back home. Till you come back home.
Hey everybody, I hope you're doing really well today. I'm David Herring. It's good to have you here on The Large Loft's Life. Still back at home. Been kind of lucky in that regard, except for if you watched yesterday, you knew that I get served a federal subpoena and I had to kind of get ready for that. But I figured to take a break and we just talk about a few things. And as you know, I'm going to talk a lot about like insurance claims and assessing them. It's really more about photography and documentation, and the way we put this together is a synthesis of stuff. And there's so many different things. So today what I want to start talking about is I want to talk about Matterport, a 3D camera. It's a product that we've used for years. When it came out, it was only used in real estate. Nobody ever used it over out here in documenting insurance losses. But we adopted it. We gave it to everyone on our team, and we started 3Ding every single structure we ever work in. Sometimes that means we do this on structures that are 550,000 square feet. Sometimes we do it on structures that are 2,500 square feet. But the reason why we do it is because it documents the loss in such a way that it freezes it in time. This one that's running behind me, it's just kind of running, well, it was running. Let's see. Again, this one running behind me is actually from the very loss which I received a subpoena on. So about 3 years ago, we set this loss, the whole freaking thing, we 3D'd it, we froze it in time. And now it's the subject of litigation. So when I'm questioned, I'm going to be able to look at this and find the answer. And the other side is going to be able to look at this and find the answer. The attorneys working the claim are going to be able to look at it and find the answer. It's such high bandwidth of information that it creates a very immersive experience. You can even put this on 3D goggles, I don't really enjoy doing it that way, but a lot of the attorneys we work with like to do it because they don't get in the building to the level that we get in the building, and it gives them kind of an immersive understanding. This also lets us take very, very good pictures that come from the camera, because as it's shooting thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures, we're able to actually pull just the right picture out. So instead of on the interior of a structure, instead of doing, 5,000 pictures, we do 500 that really matter because we still have the 3D. This goes with that whole shock and awe thing I talk about. There's a couple of other things, but we'll get into that in just a minute. This is the basic camera. They have a couple other models, but this is the one that we started using on. As you can see, what it does is it rotates. It runs with an iPad. It doesn't run with an iPhone. It runs with an iPad, and it spins. It actually has 9 cameras, and those 9 cameras are absolutely, positively excellent at just pulling every little bit of light and bringing the greatest detail. We use these on like fire losses, big fires where everything is dingy and dark. And there's a bunch of stuff we miss. But when we do it this way, it captures light in such a good way that we're able to catch more detail. So we put more things in the estimate. Therefore, the documentation is better. Therefore, when we put together the documentary on a loss, we're able to use better data. And a lot of times, even in these documentaries, we'll take cuts from this 3D and provide some movement in it, so it just adds to the video effect. And because it's such nice resolution, we're able to do that and get some really good shots when we need it of a certain thing. Now, there's a couple other things that are really neat about the Matterport camera. And I'm going to put a link down below of an email address of a gentleman named Tomar at Matterport, that if you have any questions, you can contact him. Super guy. And also I'm going to give you a link to the actual camera. Nobody paid me for this review. I'm just telling you the tools and the tech that we actually use in what we do. Now, there's a couple other things this really does well for you. It measures down to about 1/100th of an inch. So when we can actually go into their system, and we can actually drag a ruler and find the dimensions of anything. If I was in that design, you could easily measure the space between my eyes with no big deal. So when you have the very human side of being on looking at something and trying to assess it, you're going to miss something because you're human. But when we do it this way, instead of having 1 or 2 people seeing the loss, we may have a dozen. It means whoever's sitting behind the desk doing the estimate, they're going to study this as well. The lawyers are going to study this. The adjusters are going to study this. Even the insurance company is going to study this, because it's an overload and they have to do it. But because it keeps such good measurements, we also have to do something in our industry like sketch the actual building, because those measurements matter to all the various quantities of things that we need to address to repair the damage. Well, it's going to allow us to flip it over on its side and actually see that sketch, and then bring it in and actually bring it into the programs that we use, Xactimate, and actually bring a very tight sketch into the program where we don't have a problem reading some chicken scratch that somebody creates on paper, and it's much more reliable. I could not tell you of a product that is more seminal in leveling the playing field when it comes to documenting your average, even small insurance loss. You know, I talk a lot about the large loss life, but you know, we were in over 21,000 houses last year. I don't usually do those, but our crews do. And we have all of those. It is just simply maniacally wonderful, because we can literally go back in time and find anything. So I'm going to show you a few extra things about this in the days that come. But for now, that's just a primer on Matterport and immersive 3D tech. You know, I was actually thinking about it today. And you know, a lot of people don't think that the work we do on this side of the business, where we're looking at insurance claims, is there's anything artistic about it. But there could not be more creativity, I think, in most than really in most things that are done. What we do when we do these documentaries is we have to conceive how someone will understand who is not technical, how they will understand, and how to emotionally grab them in a way that they will feel the gravity of the loss and the damage. We very often attach this to anything emotional. In the coming days, I'm going to show you some interviews that we've done on basic job sites, where we've included those in our documentaries. They are witnesses. And when we take this and we put it into a high resolution, well lit, well mic'd, and well questioned environment, we turn the scales in the game to our advantage. I thank you for being here. I hope if you enjoy this and you'd like to go see what else I have to do on this large lost life as we hit the road this coming week, then hit like, hit subscribe. I will be here tomorrow, and I will tell you a little bit more about a lot of different things. Have a great day.